Yo, what's up? Today I want to talk about Tesla. Yes, so my friend Pawel, he owns a Tesla Model S Performance. This is the newest one with the new permanent magnet motor and smart air suspension. So he took it for some launches after the latest update with the cheetah stands and all that, and he managed to achieve 614.7 kilowatt. That equals to 824 horsepower. Yes, so prior to that he charged the car to 100% and also heated up the battery to 50 degrees Celsius. This is how you can achieve the best performance. So let's take a look at the launches he had.
Launch mode activated, and let's go. Launch mode on. The suspension is going down. A little wheel spin. Launch mode on. Let's hope for no wheel spin. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, not shabby.
So the last launch was actually without launch control. He just stepped on the accelerator and went for it. So cheetah stands, for you guys who don't know, once you go into launch mode, it will lower the front axle a little bit to get you slightly better traction off the line. So that's a pretty cool feature. You can actually see in the front windscreen towards the fence that every time he launches, it lowers a little bit, takes a couple of seconds, and then he goes. And also, he used Draghi, which is an app. You also need to have a device, GPS device. And well, you guys know Draghi, right? So if you look at the Draghi results here, the first launch was actually the worst one, a little bit over 3 seconds. I suspect it's because of cold tires. So it was 8 degrees Celsius outside, kind of cold. But then after that one, he was consistently getting 2.9 seconds over and over again. This is just insane how fast it is, and this is without rollout. This is real world result, yeah. But the last one, interesting also, the last result, which was without the launch mode, without the cheetah stands, he was still getting 2.9 seconds. So it makes me wonder, how much does this cheetah stands do? Or was the I mean, the tires, maybe the tires were getting more and more heated up and it was performing better and better. Maybe he should have tried this on a hot summer's day with 25 degrees Celsius. Maybe he should try to do a little bit of tire burnout before he went on the launch with 100%. I'm not sure, but you see the speed, the blue line there. When the speed hits about 80-90 kilometers per hour, you see at acceleration, the orange line start declining. It happens over and over again. Now the second test, he came to a little uphill. That's why there's a bigger dip, but it happens on all of these. So I wonder if the power, why is it like this? Is it because the peak power output can only be sustained for 2.5 seconds before it cuts? That is plausible, because other performance EVs also work like this. Porsche, they also have a limit. Let me see, how was it again? There was you can only achieve the maximum power for only 2 seconds, and then the second step, I don't remember how much it was, can only be sustained for 10 seconds before it cuts down to a lower level again. So this is one possible reason that the battery is a limitation. Another limitation could be in the motors, that it goes beyond a certain RPM where it simply cannot maintain that torque anymore. So I started looking at Gearbox, and Tesla has fixed gear, front and rear. It's 9.3 to 1 or freaking fossils, man, every time. Or 9.7 to 1 gear ratio. But then Taycan, to my surprise, has 8 to 1 gear ratio in the front and the rear, except that the rear one is the one with the gearbox. And in the low gear, up to 100 kilometers per hour, it's a whopping 15.56. So they designed Taycan to have massive low gear for brutal torque from start up to 100 kilometers per hour. So this suddenly makes sense now why Taycan can be so fast despite being so heavy. But to my surprise, the rear gear, or whatever you call it, the rear high-speed gear, whatever, it's the same as the front one. So I started crunching some numbers here, and you see that the Model S at 260 kilometers per hour, then the motors will be spinning at 18,000 RPM. Now these numbers might not be 100% correct, but it's to give you some indication. But Taycan, on the other hand, at 260 is only spinning at 15,000 RPM. So I guess that's a lot better, man. So I suppose when you are running Taycan at 200 kilometers per hour, it might actually be more efficient than Model S at those speeds. Well, there's only one way to find out, right? But also I wanted to find out the rear low gear, when it changes gear, is spinning at 11,000 RPM. So it might be slightly out of the optimal range, I'm not sure, because Model S at 100 kilometers per hour would be at 7,000 RPM. So again, I don't know how the torque curve looks like compared to the RPM and all that for these motors and all that, but it's just interesting to compare. And also, you see that the last one there is that Model S at 220 kilometers per hour has the same RPM as the Taycan as 260. Just to give you some idea of how put this, how slow the Taycan motors are spinning compared to Model S. And this might be also the reason why Taycan goes way faster to 260 kilometers per hour versus Model S, because Model S, pretty much after 200 kilometers per hour, it starts struggling. And then I suspect that, okay, when you come to those levels, then it's the RPM that is the limitation for the for Model S. Yeah, it's just running at too high RPM. So it would ideally be better if you had another gear or whatever. But I was also surprised to see that the Taycan, the high speed gear on the Taycan is actually not really that high speed compared to, I mean, it's the same as front. I was expecting that the high gear would be, you know, let's say it was 5 to 1 or 4 to 1 or something like that. But it isn't. So yeah, so anyway, it was awesome for Pawel to share with me all this stuff. He just gave me the video clips, and then I did the whole crunching and of numbers and whatever. But it was pretty cool to see how fast the Model S is, that it could consistently do, you know, less than 3 seconds 0 to 100. That is just insane, man. Yeah, so anyway, I think that's gonna be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.